Welcome to footballgameplan.com, where football makes sense. I'm Emery Hunt, the czar of the playbook. Bring you our 2012 NFL Draft Grade Special. We're looking at the Miami Dolphins. So let's go back and look at their draft selections to see how well they did this past April.
The Dolphins were able to add a lot of talent in this draft. You look at this list top to bottom, well into the 7th round, they were able to get impact type of players. What I like most about this draft, you look at the tackle, Jonathan Martin, you team him up opposite side of Jake Long, and now you have your two bookends. They have a young offensive line that's going to be very good and very talented for years to come. This Dolphins offensive line may be one of the best in the AFC, young talent on this roster. And you look at tight end Michael Ignu out of Missouri, big guy, 6'5", 252 pounds, great hands. Don't ask him to block. That's why you have Anthony Fasano, but you have two talented tight ends now to help out your young quarterback in Ryan Tannehill. B.J. Cunningham was one of my favorite players in college football. This guy reminds me a lot of Jimmy Smith that used to play for the Jacksonville Jaguars. Perfect routes, excellent hands, will be a consistent performer for their Dolphins offense. I didn't like the Ryan Tannehill pick at number 8. I felt as though the Dolphins could have worked the draft a little bit more, traded down a little bit, and still got the guy they wanted in Tannehill. But there's no doubting that the fact that he went to the Dolphins because of Mike Sherman, and it wouldn't surprise me to see him start the season because you don't just sit the number 8th pick overall on the bench. Now, don't get me wrong here. I love Lamar Miller. I'm a big fan. I actually gave him a first-round grade in this draft, so the Dolphins getting him here is a steal. I just don't like the fact that they put him in a situation where he might not get carries. And a guy with this type of breakaway threat needs the type of consistent carries you need to get in order to break off those long runs. I could see if Reggie Bush didn't have an outstanding year or if Daniel Thomas didn't have an outstanding rookie campaign, but Lamar Miller with the Dolphins here just doesn't make a lot of sense. I'll give you two undrafted free agents that could surprise and make the roster. Jeff Fuller out of Texas A&M. You team him up with his college quarterback and his college head coach, and he should have a lot of success. Also, Derek Moy out of Penn State was plagued by bad quarterback play while he was out there in State College. Both guys are tall, guys with big hands, guys that can get down the field, and that's going to help out Ryan Tannehill in that entire offense. I give the Dolphins an A for this draft. Reason being, I like what they were able to add around Ryan Tannehill. If you're going to draft a quarterback, you have to give him weapons in order for him to be successful. And they've added all big wide receivers and tight ends. They're going to be able to play above the rim this year. And when you have the ability to stretch a defense out 4 and 5 wides with guys that are 6'4", 6'5", you put a lot of pressure on them. You put a lot of pressure on the safeties. The Dolphins' passing game will open up more room for Reggie Bush and that running game to have a lot of success. Look for the Dolphins' offense to be a lot better in 2012. I also want to give a huge shout out to these Dolphins fan sites for supporting Football Game Plan.